Welcome to Monday Morning Messages with Candace Smith. If anyone tuned in last week, which sadly, I don't even know, unfortunately, some people did, and I did not have 100 cups of coffee. This is what happens when you change your routine sometimes, I guess. So, I usually come in here, like I'll start my hot water and then like sit in here. This is a multi-purpose room, which I'm sure some of you are familiar with. And so, like my husband was exercising, and so I was like, I'll just go downstairs. This is not a big deal. And then from there, it was just it just changed my routine. So the entire morning just went that way. And it was so funny because like I had to upload it, and so I say had to like re-watch it a little bit because I trimmed, everything that you saw before the actual video. So it just goes to show you what changing your routine can do. So back in the routine today, got my hot water and sat for a minute. I hope everybody had a great week. I don't remember mine as usual, not for any like nefarious reasons, but just because of a variety of factors, right? Age, kids, Rona, kind of all those things that just like yesterday is far away. So today's message is finding something. I think that's what I put. Finding something you lost. And I know how frustrating it can be when you are looking for something that you can't find. And this really can have an impact on your day, your morning, the people around you. It really just creates like a very big like whirlwind of something that you're literally like looking for and you can't find. This isn't about like metaphorical. It could be, I guess, maybe there's something in there for that as well. But for today's message, it's about looking, finding something that you have lost. And this is kind of the steps like to go through to move more easily through that process, because again, I know how frustrating it can be, especially when you maybe have like either like a time crunch where it's like I need to find this because we're leaving, or going to a certain place, or like it's something very special, like I need to find this because it's my grandmother's ring or something like that. So step one is to ask the universe to help you find it. I know, sounds simple. Or, God, source, spirits, like whatever that is for you. So the first step is to be like, please help me find this. So that way you're sort of bringing in that external help, and you don't place so much of it on yourself, like I have to find this. Because one, you don't have to find it. And then two, you don't have to find it, because if you don't, you will still figure out a way like to move forward. So with both of those things not being true, kind of again, I want to make sure that we're like thinking about what we're telling ourselves and what can cause additional like frustration or stress. And so when you put it on yourself and you say that you have to do it, when those two things don't happen, it can be frustrating. So, and I do teach that to my kids. Like he'll be looking for a toy or something, and I'm like, did you ask the universe? And they're just like, no. Sometimes they say yes. So the first thing is just to ask her, like, hey, can you help me find this? I literally say it out loud. It's been very helpful. The second thing is that you add to that, like, help me find this if I'm meant to find it, like, right now, or at all. So we all manage to get through things that don't come out the way that we expect them to. So if you were looking for like a certain pair of shoes before you walk out the door, you would say like, hey, help me find these if I'm meant to wear these today. Because it could be that you're being sort of routed in a different direction or having this experience. Not could be, but for a reason. Everything does happen in your life for the best outcome for you. So when you say that, it kind of takes the stress off of it. Like, hey, can you help? It's like almost like you're sort of passing the ball off, right? Like, hey, can you help me find this if I'm meant to? And then you kind of just move on with your morning, your day. So it changes the dynamic completely from those around you to like frantically throwing things in the air, literally, and words and phrases, right? Um, so it changes that whole experience from this needs to happen right now on my time, the way I think it should, to hey, let me just let this work out the way it's supposed to. And then from there, you'll make the adjustment anyway. Because truthfully, if you don't find that thing that you were looking for, then you're still having to make the adjustment and you're still leaving without it or moving on to the next thing without it. So, what has changed is your experience while that thing is missing. And that makes a really big difference because we all make adjustments when things don't go our way. We have to, right? That's how we become stronger from, changing what we need to when things don't go the way we think they should. So the next thing is, if it's not something short term like a pair of shoes or, um, I don't know, like a water bottle or something, when you're like, I always think of like leaving the house as like looking for something. So keys, I mean, that's a big one too. That's a really big one. Stressed out about not finding your keys because you want to leave at the time that you want to leave. But let's just say the universe has in place that if you find them at the time that you wanted to, that you would leave and maybe get into an accident. So just go with it because if they don't want you to find your keys, they don't want you to find your keys. And that delay could be what's keeping you and your family or just yourself safe or someone else. So just be mindful that you can ask for those things and just sort of let it go. If it's more long term, then you would just write it down. There is a brain body connection when you do write things down. I'm a very uh, big fan of writing things down and asking for them. And then also, um, it helps you, I think, to become clear on what it is you're asking for. If it is something that's like, your parents, something that you're looking for that's very important to you, or a project that you're working on, or something that's very important to you that maybe you haven't looked for in a while and you're sort of wondering where it is, just write it down and say, hey, can you help me find, XYZ. So I wonder how we landed on XYZ. It's like, do we use other letters? Like, help me find RST. Maybe there's something there. So writing it down will, again, have that brain body connection and allow it to sort of, become concrete, become clear. And again, it kind of allows you to put it outside of yourself so that you don't feel so much pressure to try to find this thing that you're looking for. Also, tell people about it. This let's see, was it this week? I don't know. I was looking for my favorite pair of headphones. And of course, with most things I have, it's older. They don't make them anymore, and you can't go out and buy it. So um, I was looking for them. And I kind of went through like, hey, universe, can you help me find my headphones? And I guess it wasn't the right time because I didn't find them. And then I wrote it down. Where are these headphones? They're my favorite. And then I really hadn't told anyone. And then I was talking to my husband, and I was like, these headphones, it's just elusive. Like, they're in the house because no one's left the house in quite some time. So nothing is outside of the house. Um, so we started talking, and it was like, those are on your, like, iPod thing. And I was like, yeah, but those, I think I have two pair of these because, you need to stock up when they don't make what you like anymore. So I was like, I have two pair of these. And he's like, I don't think so. Like, that's just it. And I was like, they've been right in front of me the whole time. Like, I would see that iPod. I'm like, okay, these are the ones that go here, but I have another pair that I use for, like, my phone. And that was just not the case. After um, a very illuminating conversation about the fact that there was just one pair of those headphones allowed me to realize those are the ones I was looking for. I kind of forgot they were there. So it was just interesting. Don't like keep those things to yourself. If you're thinking about that and you're having a conversation with someone, just bring it up. And you could even say, like, okay, I don't know why I'm saying this, but I'm randomly looking for these things, or I want this, or something, whatever it is, because it could allow you to get more information from them. It could just kind of have an extra, like, putting it out there, or it could spark a thought, you sort of saying it out loud and going through and telling someone else about it that you hadn't thought of before. And for the most part, I think people love helping other people. So when they have the chance to, and it's easy, so it's like, oh, well, have you tried this? Or, maybe go here. And it gives them a chance to, be a part of the experience and sort of think through it with you, or at least, send you extra energy that maybe you can locate it. So you can include other people. Not like the one where it's in the morning where you're stressed and like running around everywhere and like, where is this thing? Not that kind of including other people, but the one where maybe, again, it's sort of further out and you're telling people that, hey, this is what you need. So I think that can be really helpful as well. And again, it changes everything around it, and it allows you to accept, like, if I'm meant to find this, then I will. And when I do find it, then it's the right time for me to find it. So allowing things to unfold at their own pace in the way that it's best for you, I think is going to be the most helpful for those experiences. And then hopefully you do find this like amazing thing that you've been looking for, and you're super excited. So you're like, cool, this is amazing. And then once that happens, don't forget about the gratitude part. This is pretty clutch, because you just want to sort of give like a heads up, or like a thumbs up or something. Just be like, thanks, universe, or whatever it is for you. Or even if it's nothing, I guess, like, thanks, nothing, you know. Um, because it's important to sort of complete that circle, that, once you do find it, that there is gratitude behind it and that you're excited. But, you know, for the most part, like, we're just not doing things on our own. We get help from various places in many ways throughout the day. So when you do kind of locate that thing that you found that you've been looking for, and who knows, by the time you find it, you're like, hey, well, I don't need it anymore. You can still be like, that's cool. I guess the next time I need it, it'll show up for me. So that's really it. I hope this was helpful a little bit. I know how frantic it can get when we want what we want immediately and it's not there, and we get so upset by the whole process. But there is a whole like activity behind the scenes that we don't realize. All of our experiences are teachers. So if we can treat them as lessons instead of roadblocks, then it might help us to feel a more, or have a more peaceful experience around that, versus trying to push and bully our way through something that we feel like is best for us, when we can't really see all of the things that are working for our good, and trusting, that it's the best thing for you. So hopefully this was helpful for some of you. I know it's definitely changed, the lives of everyone in this house, because we sort of say, I'm looking for this. If it's meant to be, great. If not, we move on. Everybody sort of just does their own thing. So hopefully it'll help in that way for you as well. So have a great week. Work your week. Don't work this week. I don't know. I don't know if I should change it, because I think about it every week and it works, but I always have to like slowly say it to make sure that like it still makes sense. So who knows? If you need me, I'm here for you. Otherwise, have a great week, and we will see you next week. Bye.